my name is Joel Smith. Today, we're breaking down my 10 goals for the year of 2026. So, first off, it's to read every single day. I want to take time to just intake knowledge. There have been millions and billions of people, most likely, who have lived smarter, faster, better, and in a more enlightened way than myself, who've also wrote stuff down. And it's your job as a person to figure out what they wrote, what they did, and how that can help you. A lot of things in life, a lot of the true knowledge you get, it's what not to do. The removal process is actually, and usually, more powerful than addition. It's usually bad habits keeping you back. It's not the lack of good habits. You have to start with the bad stuff first. You got to take away the bad stuff. You have to cull yourself. And I think reading is a great way to expand your mind, because in the end, you can't really do anything unless you know about it. So you have to know about the thing first, and then you can accomplish it. Meaning, you have to know. So how do you know? You have to read. And reading is the gateway to experience. Number 2 is to create and follow a 5-day-a-week split for my workout. That's going to mean back, biceps, triceps, chest. Probably not legs. I don't really do legs much, but I want to make sure I'm locked in on that. And I don't want it to be too rigid, because when you start making things where it's like perfect or nothing, the second you fail, you'll go back to nothing. It needs to have some tolerance. Number 3, it's a personal goal. It's a certain financial quote. In Fidelity, I want to have that mark met by about September of next year, or this year. I want to post 1 video a week on YouTube. I think it's amazing that we can have this thing of content, that we can share ideas, that, while I'm talking, you're listening, whomever you are. And it's really quite, amazing. So I want to focus on making 1 video per week. Number 5, I want to lock in my financial strategy. What this simply means is, if you take a look at the inflation chart for the last year, well, it's about 7%, meaning if you do nothing with your money, you're losing 7%. That's not good. Now, if you make 7%, you're getting nothing. That's not great, but it's not terrible. The goal here is to make 7%. So it means we have to make 14% return somehow within this next year. That's the goal. Number 6, watch 1 video per week on content creation. Now, that usually is my forte. In my line of work is content creation to some extent. And being in that profession, it's good to hone in my skills. And here's the key they don't teach you. If you do something for work, a lot of the extra skill that comes into play is the stuff you learn outside of work on that same subject. So never stop learning. Number 7 is to put useful thought into my carb intake. Let's keep it real. I have been slamming some sugar monsters recently, and I've been kind of sick. So I gotta, lock it on that sugar, trying to cut that down. Number 8, get 8 hours of sleep each night. I think this is a very good goal. Number 9 and number 10 go together. Number 9 is to reflect every single night. I am incredibly blessed. I can't imagine a life I would rather live than my own. And I think it's very important, if you can, to live like that. Now, in my case, I can be honest and say that. Some people, they have terrible things in their life. I don't. I've been incredibly fortunate and blessed. So I have no issue saying that, and I have no issue believing that every single day, that in my eyes, I would rather live no other life than my own. And that is just the best feeling in the world. Number 10 is to take each day as if it could be my last, because it can be. And 300,000 people will have their last day today. That's the stats. That's a lot of people. When you start thinking about it, you or I could be next, and we will be at some point, meaning there's a pretty good chance one of these days I'll tell myself, man, this could be my last day, and I'll die that same day, right? How bad would it be to be caught lacking and just to be, chilling that whole day, right? If you really knew you were dying today or tomorrow, you'd live a little differently, and so would I. So I'm trying to make that a forefront in my mind. Like, I gotta lock in. I gotta take this for what it is. And there's a lot of beautiful things in life. Like, maybe you should stop and smell the roses sometime, because, life is pretty beautiful. It's pretty good. So these are my goals. I will catch up with myself in Q1. So the end of Q1, we'll do a little review and we'll see how we're going. Until next time, I'll see you later.